Our next session will be in a very interesting topic, smart healthcare. May I first invite our first speaker of the second session, Mr. Hiroyuki Hasegawa, Deputy General Manager of Hitachi Global Life Solution Inc., to share about the next generation cell processing center. May I invite our guest speaker, please? Thank you.
Hello, this is Hiroyuki Hasegawa, and I joined in Hitachi last year, and I am in charge of self-processing centers, and I'm making. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Hi. Okay, I will do it again. This is Hiroyuki Hasegawa, and today I would like to explain new generation modular self-processing centers. And today's topic is something like this, but I would like to explain one by one. So first of all, I just want to explain a brief, snapshot about what is Hitachi. Maybe you probably know what is Hitachi. And my company is founded on 1910. And our annual sales is over 10 billion. And we have several business segments such as heavy metal or automobile or smart life. But this time we concentrate on proton beam center cancer therapy treatment. And we have a first order in Hong Kong. This is kind of, first success story in Asia. And we have a mid-term plan, and our next target is 2024 to support people's quality of life with data and technology that fosters a sustainable society. And there is a Hitachi social innovation business, and we have co-creation for society, and we have three main concepts as a corporate. One is green and digital, then innovation. With those three concepts, we would like to contribute to make quality of life in the world. And this is a business segment constitution. And we have several business segments like train or connective industries and green energy and mobility. But today, I would like to focus on the healthcare business. So now, I would like to go to regenerative medicine. This is a trend of regenerative medicine. Industrialization of regenerative medicine aiming at well-being is accelerating, and regenerative medicine services are expanding. And this trend is same as in Japan, America, Europe, and of course, Hong Kong. That's why we came to Hong Kong. And in Japan, just right now, this is same as in America. We have two laws about regenerative medicine. One is Act on Securing the Safety of Regenerative Medicine. And second one is a little bit more strict, which is the Act on Securing the Quality, Efficiency, and Safety of Pharmaceuticals and Medical Devices. We need to comply with those laws in Japan, and this is absolutely same as in America and Europe. And as far as Hong Kong, I have a discussion with the Department of Health, and probably most likely, those two kind of the laws to be introduced to market in Hong Kong. Then in order to comply with those laws and market trend, we created self-processing centers. This is our core technology about self-processing centers. In order to comply with the laws and regulations which I explained before, there is a need for the CPCs that can be installed in existing buildings and produced in a wide variety of products and on a large scale. So this is the facilities that support regenerative medicine. So we call the cell culture processing center. This is our Hitachi's capability and strengths. And we would like to introduce this technology and core product to the market in Hong Kong. Then I would like to explain our initiatives. This is, we do not offer only the product. We develop CPC business by applying technology cultivated in clean rooms originally from air conditioning to CPC construction. For example, in a process room, we have to secure the cleanness of the inside of the room. Then because of Hitachi's air conditioning technologies plus IoT systems, then we can manage and control best cleanness of the air inside of the process room. This is our solution. So we sell CPC as a product, and also we will offer the IoT systems. And this is just an example. Our customers or end users, such as pharmaceutical, doctors, or venture capital company who develop new medicine. And those customers, they have challenges. So they have several challenges like environment application, machinery inspection, and they have no idea what they have to do. Then one by one, Hitachi will answer their pain point. And this is, left-hand side is old system of CPC. But last year, 2 years ago actually, we developed a new modular structure which reduced the cost, and because of a room pressure control, we can promise our end users for the saving energy. So operating cost is quite low comparing with the previous systems. And Can I back? Sorry. Yeah. Okay, sorry. And due to the modular structure, like Hong Kong or New York, we cannot expect enough space to install the process room. But due to Hitachi's technology, we can install these rooms in like a high-rise building in Hong Kong or Shanghai or New York. And this is next one. This is one of the CPC environment. Probably some of the audience maybe knows about what is GMP. This is a good manufacturing practice, and this is a quite strict standard and regulation, which will be reinforced in Hong Kong next few years. And in order to comply with these standard and regulations, end users such as doctors, hospitals, university, academians, they have to prepare for a lot of documentation, quite huge and time-consuming, and it's kind of a headache for the end users. However, Hitachi has a medical technology, and also we have IoT systems. Because of our IoT systems, we can comply all the data and documentation in one place. Then we can record it. So this is our strength, and actually, our end users in America or Japan, they enjoy our IT systems. And we would like to introduce core products with IoT solutions to market in Hong Kong. This is the same, clinic, pharmaceutical, or contract manufacturing research institution. They have to develop new medicines, so they don't have enough time to make a documentation to comply with government requirement. But again, we can offer IoT systems to make a documentation very easily. And I explained IoT solutions and CPC as a self-processing center. But as a group of Hitachi, we can offer also like a biosafety cabinet and more like process rooms or safety cabinet. And we do not sell CPC plus IoT systems. We will have a discussion with our end users, such as universities or pharmaceutical type of the company, and we will make a plan together with the end users. Then we will construct all the products and train the university or college. Then after installation, of course, we will do after maintenance service. Then maybe 5 or 6 years later, we will replace and extend the existing systems. So we call one-stop integration. And this is our history, success story in Japan from 2016. And our end users comply with all the standard and regulation in Japan. And this is just an example. This is our office in Tokyo. We will invite professors or university researchers to this office to have a discussion to offer our best product with solution. And also, we will exchange the campus ideas to develop new technology. Okay. Then, I would like to go to conclusion. With CPC solutions, Hitachi aims to support customers' quality of life. And our CPC construction and operation, we believe we can improve our patient throughout the world. So this is our concept is we would like to answer and solve the pain point of our patients. And that's it from my presentation. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hasegawa. Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Christine Yip, founder and CEO of OSMED Global Limited. She will be sharing about a breakthrough solution for measuring ketone. Ms. Yip, please. Please give a big round of applause to Ms. Yip.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to the organizer to inviting me to give a sharing with you about our breakthrough innovation for ketone measurement. Our company is OSMED Global Limited. So from the name OSMED, you probably had a sense like we originally from Australia. So our innovation and invention is originally from Australia. OSMED Global is an Australian life science company and founded in late 2017 when I back from Sydney. We are headquartered in the Hong Kong Science Park. OSMED has the passion in developing non-invasive and novel medical device for both home care users and also point of care in the hospital environments in response to the global challenges of obesity, diabetes, and overweight. Today, I would like to talk about our novel breakthrough sensing technology in ketone measurement. which is both high selectivity and also high accuracy. So we are designed that for DKA ketoacidosis management of diabetes patients and also for the ketosis management for the well-being. And one of our solution, Keto Matrix fat loss solution, has been awarded the silver medal in early this year, 2022 Geneva invention. Ketone, I'm not quite sure how many of you get some idea about this biomarker, ketone? Probably you heard about glucose a lot, because the glucose is like for the blood glucose for the measuring of diabetes patients, they all this kind of monitoring. But actually ketone is another very important biomarker, in particular for the type 1 diabetes patient, because they're at high risk of the DKA ketoacidosis, which is a life-threatening disease. And so ketone can also be as another kind of a biomarker that is, it can indicate the rate of fat loss. The reason is because it is involved with the fat metabolism. So for the ketone, you will see potential application of ketone measurements. One is screening for impending DKA. DKA stands for ketoacidosis. So it is for type 1 diabetes and also some of the type 2 diabetes patients treated of SGLT2 inhibitor, because DKA is considered to be one of the major risks for those of type 2 taking the SGLT2 inhibitor. And for ketosis management, that is for the well-being, for fat metabolism, and also for sport performance. As I mentioned, for the type 1 diabetes patient, for the DKA, a timely self-test and treatment, it is very useful for reduce the risk of hospitalization and death due to the DKA. So which means that if the children or the patients, they've been admitted to the hospital because of the DKA, so they're admitted to the emergency, so it will be very dangerous and they might need to measure their ketone level per every 2 hours. And for fat metabolism, I think you probably heard about a ketogenic diet or keto diet or low-carb diet. All those actually involve with the kind of metabolism, fat metabolism status that is ketosis. So the potential benefit of ketogenic diet have been widely studied and researched over the world in the past decades. Potential benefit of this kind of diet involves some of the cancer, and of course it's for weight loss. That is many people very eager about that weight loss. But I would like to draw your attention that weight loss is different from fat loss. That's two different things, okay? Because weight loss could be like due to your muscle loss, that is you don't want to, and also maybe due to the water. But fat loss is really like burning all your stored fat or unnecessary fat. Because according to WHO, the definition like for the overweight and obesity, it basically is like excessive or abnormal accumulation of your fat in the body. Okay, so I will not go into the details about this potential benefit of ketogenic diet, but I would just like to let you know, because this kind of ketosis status is have a very large range from different ppm in the unit. So close monitoring and daily monitoring of your own fat metabolism rate is very essential for your plan, your diet, or your well-being, etc. Existing ketone detection technologies. So now we understand what is ketone for, this biomarker. And now we have to understand what is the existing ketone detection technologies. First of all, the very traditional one is finger prick capillary blood meter. So I'm not quite sure whether you have any friends around you to use this kind of method to measure their ketone or using this method to measure their blood glucose. Anyway, the method of using it is the same. It is invasive, first of all. And also the whole step, it will involve a kind of a lancet. So which means that asks you to clean your fingers with alcohol pad or whatever, and then you need to prepare your fingers, which finger that you use for that day, right? And then you massage it, and then you print off the lancet and get your blood drops and etc., and then insert into the meter. So this part is invasive and painful. And in particular, young children, they don't like to use this method for testing of ketone. And that's also make it quite challenging for the parents, encourage their kids for this kind of monitoring daily. So we believe that our technology, talking later, can solve this kind of problem. And second is the laboratory blood analysis, and this one is very accurate. However, it is inconvenient because it is not for point-of-care use, and you cannot use anywhere and any time. So you have to get a blood sample and then send to the laboratory for the blood analysis. And the third one is the urine testing strip. This one is very cheap and also widely used. But this one has some problems. The one first thing is like it is very messy. So you can imagine using the urine strips. Not many people like to use it due to this kind of inconvenient. And also there's a delay in the result because it is after your fat metabolism or after your body condition. So, in the past decades, researchers around the world have been exploring new methods to measure ketone. Because as you see, the existing methods, they can't be very convenient, have the room for improvement. And then around the world, people tend to do a lot of research and to see what else can be done for measuring new method for this measuring ketone. Ketone measurement as acetone in the breath gas has been widely studied. And so it could be a biomarker for metabolism ketosis and also DKA management. And there's quite a lot of clinical papers have been published over the years. And one of the recent study in the UK, actually I think this one is conducted by Oxford University. They have the children and also the adults patients in diabetes patients. And they conduct the study with the traditional blood prick method and also with the gas method. However, they don't have the device like the gas method for the point of care, like self-test. So they use, go to the third one, this one. So they use the industry gold standard. So they use one of the gold standard for the gas, a kind of a spectrum to test about the VOCs and to test against the blood. And they find they're correlated. It is correlated for blood ketone and not the breath ketone. And it's that breath ketone meter is definitely the future trend because no one likes the invasive one, in particular the kids. However, you see that the population for the children type 1 diabetes around the world has been increasingly significantly over the recent years. So, but for this kind of breath ketone meter as the future trend, there is also many challenges. Because the existing metal oxide-based sensing technology of the some breath meters, they basically use for whatever, like the keto diet things, they cannot meet the must of two criteria. One is high accuracy and one is high selectivity. I will explain in a minute why this high accuracy and high selectivity must be met before any breath analyzer can be used for the DKA management and the series of the ketosis management. Maybe you can look at here, this one. This diagram, and also this diagram, they are extracted from the journal. This is a very classic paper. And you can see for the VOC gases, that is a volatile organic gases, there are different gases in our breath, different gases. And you see this one, acetone, that is the breath ketone we are mentioned. That is the ketone bodies we are mentioned that we want to use it as a biomarker for the application, potential application I just mentioned. And you can see from this range, ppm is the unit for the breath ketone measurement. And you see for the range, this is a very high range, right? From 2, that is almost none, and to 100. And according to this paper, you're talking about ketogenic diet, what would be the range? And here, maybe you cannot see the words very clearly. It means nutritional ketosis and also therapeutic ketosis. What's the difference? Nutritional ketosis basically is like for well-being, like for the diet, and maybe your dietitian or family doctor has some idea giving you per your request. But for the therapeutic ketosis, which means that your family doctor or your doctor have special purpose, like you to achieve through the diet, through the ketosis management, right? So our innovation, we're closing the gap because our technology actually, we also patented, and the patent just granted in China and also in US. So our patent technology measure the breath ketone with both high accuracy and high selectivity. And this is our first model, Keto Matrix, our registered mark of a high-performance breath keto analyzer. So it is a very tiny one, just like this small size. And the uniqueness, I just mentioned, non-invasive, so it is needle-free, pain-free, high accuracy, comparable to gold standard of VOC's analysis. And the R-score is more than 99 point something, because we just conducted it in Hong Kong in a laboratory of one of the university. And high selectivities, and this is our patent technology, so we don't have any interference from alcohol or food, which means that in hospital environment, it can be used full of this kind of alcohol, ethanol vaporization, and also you don't need to worry about what you eat. Anytime you just measure it. And also it is minimal carryover contamination because our device, similar to the blood ketometer, we also use the one disposable testing kit for the measurement, which means that minimal carryover contamination. And personal hygiene. I think this is very important, personal hygiene. I would like to explain it, elaborate a bit. Imagine you have a kind of a traditional metal oxide-based device, okay? And then you just change the mouthpiece and then you blow in every time. You can imagine what happened in that tube because you cannot open it and then clean it. It is the sensor down there. But for our ones, we got a breath bottle, so you can wash it anytime if you like. And for the clinical point of care use, actually you can have a very slim disposable tube for collecting your breath. And so no warm-up time because we're not the metal oxide base, so you just turn on it and then you can get it in a minute. So Keto Matrix makes it easy. Switch on the device, insert the disposable test kit for each test, and then use the bottle. You can open it or you can just use it, breathe naturally into the air bottle. Just one breath naturally. And finally, you get the result on the device right away within 2 to 3 minutes. That's easy. Okay, so for this one, you can use it like for point of care or for your daily use for the diabetes management type 1, and also for the ketosis management of your diet management. And if for your well-being on diet management, you can also pair with Keto Matrix Smart app, which will log your ketone levels, generate tiny your personal health report, and for diet management to meet your health and well-being need, which means that you understand through that log what has been impact your fat metabolism or rate of fat metabolism that much because of your diet or particular food or because of your sleep or because of your pressure and etc. Okay, so this is just to let you know, we, Osmed Global, we are a very fast-growing biotech company. And so our valuation has been increased by 16 times over the past 5 years, according to our last pre-A round fundraising at the end of last year. Thank you so much. And if you are interested in Osmed or we have any collaboration in the future, so please let me know. You can contact me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Yip. Thank you. And now we would like to invite Mr. Tony Lam, CEO of SRAMEC Group, to share with us about precision medicine, treating hypertension by medical AI. May I now hand over to Mr. Lam, please. A round of applause to Mr. Lam.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tony from SRAMEC Group. Special thanks goes to Invest Hong Kong for inviting me to be the speaker today to share the topic, precision medicine, treating hypertension by medical AI. So, according to the WTO, the hypertension or high blood pressure is a global health threat. It affects more than 30% of the adult population worldwide. For example, 1 in 4 men 1 in 5 women, they have hypertension. The hypertension also is the main risk factor for cardiovascular risk. So in 2022, the HIS reported there is an inadequate control rate over the hypertension globally. In 2017, about 270 million people have hypertension, and there is an increase up to 350 million people in 2021. However, less than 12% are under control by treatment in most countries. So in some medical journals like the AJH under the Oxford Academy mentioned that the hypertension is a hemodynamic disease. In simple terms, hemodynamic means the measurement of blood flow. Hemodynamic measurement also got another name called the impedance choreography, the ICG, which is not, most of them not quite familiar about the ECG, it's quite different. So we support the diagnosis and decision making on hypertension treatment. Continuous non-invasive hemodynamic can benefit for patient outcome. So about our technology background, in 1985, my partner Bo Ceramic was appointed to be the principal investigator by NASA. We developed the hemodynamic device which can put into a spaceship to examine and monitor the heart performance of the astronaut during the space missions. The technology was named as the NCOM3. In 1992, the NCOM3 was repackaged as the BioC, which was widely adopted by Philips Healthcare, Edward Life Science, and Theatre Medical, which was later acquired by Baxter in 2019. In 1994, Bo Ceramic was the chairman of the International Hemodynamic Society, IHS, and he built a company, Hemosapien, in which the BioC was further upgraded in terms of precision and accuracy, and later named as the Hotman system. In 2018, I partnered with Dr. Bo Ceramic to form a new company named the Ceramic Biodynamic Inc. to acquire all the international property rights from Hemosapiens Inc. and start the integration from cloud computing and medical AI. So lucky, both hardware and software, we passed the FDA clearance. In 2021, the Digital Journal report that there is a huge demand in hemodynamic monitor device market in 2028, with the top key players like Baxter, General Electric, Network Life Science, and our company, Ceramic Biodynamics. So lucky was mentioned as one of the 15 companies. So according to the American Heart Association, the AHA, the value of the non-invasive hemodynamic health to achieve blood pressure control in hypertensive subject. Hypertension is a hemodynamic-related disorder, while the BP rise as a result of the increased systematic vascular resistance, the SVR, cardiac output, and other fluid volume, and combined of these factors. Using the non-invasive hemodynamic measurement, we can collect up to 30 cardio-related parameters. These parameters can be categorized into 3 areas you can see on the screen, which can help the doctors and cardiologists to understand more about the cardio conditions of the patients, and let us go through all these parameters a bit. In the area of cardiac output, the cardiac performance, we can collect the cardiac output CO, cardiac index, and also the stroke volume, the SV. Like the cardiac output, may not everyone familiar, it is the amount of oxygen from the blood flow generated from your heart. In simple terms, it's just like the horsepower of the engine inside a car. If you have more cardiac output, you have more CO you may less risky in performing some extreme sport like marathon or rock climbing. So those parameters is quite useful when you use it's not easily found in any healthcare or checkup center. Again, in the area of the cardiac issue, we can providing an alternative diagnosis to the doctor in which it is not just more than a few snapshots from ECG or choreography. So it is a continuous measurement of the blood flow. Then we can create some cardio data like SVV, SVR, and those data will be quite relevant to understand more about your heart conditions. Also, the third area will be on the theoretical usage and applications. So our hemodynamic state, or even the SIS and ejection friction, can be a very good reference for any patient after they take the medication before and after. So now we go to see how the non-invasive hemodynamic monitoring, we call it the ICG, to assist the treatment flow. So as the screening, we take the baseline, we measure the blood pressure and also the ICG or hemodynamic data with the medication effect. And then we do the post-washout, still measuring the BP, ICG, and medication. And then we divide it into 2 groups. One is the standard care and one is the hemodynamic care. And within this group, we will take 3 months antihypertensive treatment, collecting the data, and completion also getting the final result compared with the BT data, hemodynamic ICG data, and the medication. And then we come to the end point. We will be 2 groups. The primary will be to see whether there is any drop from the BP, and the secondary group we will see whether the BP will be in the derivable position. So let's go to the medical workflow. They will be understand more about how the medical AI work. Okay, so we were using the BP measurement just the traditional way, and then we're using the hemodynamic test, and then we go to have a 2-purpose scenario. Worst is that if there is a higher SVR or low or normal CI, the system will be increase the dosage of ACEI, ARB, CCB, or VD, and also we will consider the diuretics dosage. Or we may have another scenario with higher CI, normal SVR, the system will increase the dosage of the BB, CAA, and consider reducing the dosage of VD, also the diuretics dosage as well. It is our medical AI logic, which is recommended by the AHA and approval by the FDA. So let's go to the actual situation. You will see 2 graphs on the screen. On the left side, you will see there is a standard model that most of doctors already use for many years. That is a traditional rate drug prescription method, which is a try and error. Okay, we try to put the MAP and the stroke index as SI in the normal position. So you will see on the right side, you will see there will be an assumption that we assume there will be 4 assumptions in 4 corners. Okay. For example, in this corner, when the patient they suffer from both MAP and SI in a hyperposition, most of the doctors they will prescribe the AC and ARB, and at the same time they will drop their blood pressure. Or we will on the other next right top corner where the SI will be on the hyper position and the MAP in hyper position. Most of doctors will be issued the diuretics in order to lower down the blood pressure. In the real case situation, in order to improve the possibility to line up all the blood pressure inside this safe zone, some therapy will make a combination of A or B plus C. In other words, they will increase the side effect of the patient because they take some drugs they don't need. So what is our approach by Ceramic? We are using an innovative approach like this. You will finding some patient like GJKM. They are represented by different patients in different situations. For example, the patient M, which have a higher MAP and SI, we can using the diuretics to lie directly. But for some patients like O and P, since they have a hypo in both MAP and SI, we need to have a different medical path, you see. We need to check up his heart function before to lower down the blood pressure. Otherwise, they will have a high chance to get stroke, okay? So you see, in the real world, we don't just have a GJKM limited patient. We have more and more. So this matrix may represent millions of combinations, even with a different age, sex, and also for some elderly women, the before and after menopause, when produce different combination and the medical path. So this is the Ceramic, the patented graph to show how it works. Okay. So even this table is built by in 1996. Even NASA today is using this as to estimate the heart health of a human being, even in the tough environment like space. So we have an X and Y axis to represent the MAP and SI, the stroke index. The blue area, represent the safe zone, both MAP and the XI in the normal position. By Ceramic model, we add on 6 more reference line, like the LSWI, the less stroke working index, and also the SSVRI, the systematic stroke vascular resistance index, then to create a hexagon inside this blue rectangular zone, making the original safe zone to be more safer and safer than before. So if your heart status within this hexagon, your heart will be far from any cardiovascular risk. Let me give you a lifetime example. Suppose that most of the astronauts, they go to the space, they have a healthy heart. so the index will be within the hexagon. But due to there is a lack of gravity, lack of weight training for the body, and lack of oxygen, your heart muscle will be going reduced in size with less force from time to time. So the dog within the hexagon will be moving on the left side, coming out, and at a certain time it will out of the blue zone and the green zone, and at that time it is a tendency for suffering the early stage of heart failure. So based on this theory, you will see two diagrams that the medical AI how to apply, okay? For example, you can see on the left side diagram, there is the medical path for the certain, it was a hypertension patient, and then the AI will project a medical path. We will finding the nearest and closest location in order to meet the requirement. Just like you are driving a car with a GPS, you will find the nearest gas station or closest shopping mall with less fuels. And we are using the same logic to find out the shortest distance to reach this safe zone by providing less drugs and less risk. So now you will see the show table on the right side. There is the suggested medical path, and on the left side you will see the drug type and also the dosage proportion and also the drug direction in line with what the medical path is provided. So this is the report compared the traditional way and the new way of treating hypertension by AI. On the right side, you will see there's most of the doctors will be using the light skyline to treating hypertension by the snapshot of some BP. But in what we are doing the approach, we are doing two screening. The first screening, you will see the dot below about the MAP line. This is perfectly a hypertension patient. So after the patient take a few hours medication, we do the second screening. You will find out the dog is already lowered down by the medication, so it was in the very normal and stable condition under MAP. However, this dog cannot move into the hexagon. It means what? The patient may feeling the blood pressure is normal, everything is fine, but he's feeling fatigue because the heart function is not achieve a very good position, so we're feeling unwell. So this diagram can explain what is going on when this is a misprescription by the doctors. So this is another example to show another patient. You will see here, before the medication, that the patient is hypertension. After a few hours, the medication, the patient still on the hypertension. So the doctor failed to lower the blood pressure using the traditional try and error method. So on the right side, the medical AI will propose two options. You will see this the option one, we will try to using less drugs in order to make the patient to feel to touch the edge of the hexagon. And the other option two, we will be more aggressive to moving the status to be more perfect condition and using more drug dosage. So this is in the MPMC, the NCBI in the US, the clinical trial mentioned the hemodynamic monitoring using the TEB, our technology, is the optimal solution for treating hypertension. They are using our device. They mentioned that only you see, there is only 5 days we can control the hypertension. Normally it takes 1 to 3 months by doctors. And also for the second diagram, it takes only 20 days we can achieve a very perfect state of blood pressure. That is a mission impossible for most of the doctors when they are lack of some ideas and the linear relation between the drugs and their cardio conditions. So in conclusion, our system recommendation lead to an expanded stabilization of patient status and therefore shortening the initiation stabilization phase of treatment, which was often a frustration period for both doctors and patients. So what's next? So with the future drugs will be fully customized on individual basis, outcome-oriented treatment, interactive on treatment change, and highly precision on related to your lifestyle and health conditions. So you will know your outcome and medication through your mobile phone in the future. So thank you. If you have any interesting to know more, you feel free to contact me with the QR code display. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lam. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today's program has now come to an end. We hope it has been a fruitful day for everybody. And if you have any further question about our events or our programs, please feel free to contact the team of Invest Hong Kong. Thank you once again for all our distinguished guests today and our speakers for their insightful sharing, and all of our participants for joining us today. Thank you very much. Goodbye and have a great evening. Thank you very much.